¿Qué pasa? Welcome back to another solo leveling video on my channel, guys. Today we're going to be talking about Alicia. And yeah, since Alicia Blanche came out, she's become one of the most sought after characters if you're struggling with someone like Cerberus in the Encore missions. Obviously, if you are fortunate enough to get someone like Cha at A5, there is no need really to go for Alicia, since A5 Cha clears tier 10 Cerberus without much difficulties. However, it is always a good option to collect every character if you're a character collector. So we're going to be diving in this video about everything regarding her build. So let's dive right into her most optimal artifacts, right? So the first artifact you ideally want to equip her with is the Solid Foundation, since she basically scales a lot of damage due to her core attack. The Solid Foundation is actually one of the best sets you can run for her, because the two-piece effect increases the user's basic attack damage by 18%, the four-set effect increases the user's core attack damage by 18%, and when an attack hits, charges the user's core gauge by 60. So this is, in most cases, the go-to set. Obviously, you can go with alternatives, like for example, the Toughness set, which is essentially boosting a critical hit rate and critical hit damage. The Armed set is also an alternative, and even the Guardian set, depending on what uses you want to use her for, right? So those are the sets you can run, but again, the Guardian, the Solid Foundation is actually the most sought after set. In terms of jewelry set, you want to go with the Champion on the Field, ideally because this one increases the user's attack by 5% when landing a critical hit, and the four-piece effect. The attack increase effect now can stack limited to 4 instances. This will further boost her attack damage when running as a sub DPS or a DPS. Now, in terms of weapons, the best weapon for her is her signature weapon, the Witch of the Snowstorm, because this one basically, the effect of the weapon is it increases the user's core attack damage by 16%. On top of that, when the Ice Body Armor effect activates, it increases water damage dealt by 8% for 20 seconds. The cooldown is 30 seconds. So this one is the most ideal weapon to go for. If you don't have this weapon, then an alternative is also the Steel Axe, because this one will increase her core attack damage by 24% base, or depending on what ascension level you have it, you can even increase that effect to a higher ascension. Now, in terms of main stats and substats, these are the ones you always want to focus on. For the helmet, you want to always try go for attack percentage up. For the boots, you want to try and go for critical hit damage increase. Bracelet, obviously focus on getting war damage. And for the ring, try and get also something that pushes her attack up. As for substats, you always want to go ideally for attack, war damage, and critical hit rate. Those are the substats you're always looking to get for Alicia Blanche. Now, in terms of skills, the best ones you want to be focusing on now, generally you got to understand first how you want to play her, because it also bases off your ascension level, right? If she's A0 or A1, you want to always run her in second spot, and you want to start up with the basic attack, the Winter Storm. Once you proc the Winter Storm, use your basic attacks to proc your core attack. And then after that, you always want to run into Ice Needle. If you're running this, then go back to basic attacks. And then after that, try and get your ult out if her ultimate is ready. After that, you will be able to use the QTE skill. And after that, go back to the support skill, because you want to swap her out, bring her off field, use her support, and bring her back in, and that's where the rotation starts all over again. That's the ideal playstyle you want to play her at. Generally, you want to focus on her core attack, obviously, because this one will increase her damage crazy. Then also you want to focus on Winter Storm, because that is also her bread and butter skill, which causes a lot of freezes. The Ice Needle is definitely also a skill you want to focus on, and then the 2 support skills, and also a few points into the ultimate. But first up is the basic attack 1 and the core attack. Now, the perfect team composition for trying to be in Cerberus would be this: a pure war based team. Choose Nam as your breaker. since Nam is one of the best breakers in the game and she does literally crazy amounts of break damage to Cerberus. On the second spot, always run Alicia, then do the cycle which I've just prescribed. And on the third spot, you want to swap out to Seal, proc in the amount of break damage she does, and also try and damage Cerberus further with her ult, and then go back to Nam and try to always interrupt Cerberus with continuous freezes. That is probably the most efficient team you want to run against Cerberus. You could also go with something like this, running Cha on A1, on Cha on the first place. Second place, you could be running Alicia. Third, you could be running Siu. You could also use Min as a buffer if you're trying to focus on increasing the damage of Alicia. That is also an option. Apart from that, you could also try and run Yojin Ho, since he's an overall jack of all trades support unit. Those are like the preferred options when trying to beat Cerberus. Now here are some final thoughts. Now generally speaking, she is at A0 to A1 more of a support unit. If you're looking for a perfect DPS, water DPS, she is not going to be that what you're looking for 100%. If you have her at A1 or A0, right? A2 is really actually needed for players that want to make her a DPS. Since the frost stack you gain will increase by 1, that basically, I'm talking about a frost stack from a core attack, and this will gain will be increased by 1. While A3 is not really necessary, it does increase her damage to enemies which are frozen by 30%. So that's, I mean, it's very huge. But again, A3 is, again, not really necessary. A2 is actually what you want to have her to make her a perfect DPS, right? Now, if you have her at A2 or A3, you can actually put Alicia everywhere in a team, since the rotation will be different if you have her to compare to A0 or A1. But if you have her at A0 or A1, second slots always are best. And generally speaking, second slot is always still the preferred position for her due to her passive, and with that she can now be actually a long fielder DPS if you have her at A2 or A3. Now again, Alicia Blanche is actually one of those most sought after characters currently, since she is able to counter Cerberus, and I will be making a thorough video on the best strategies on how to beat Cerberus, so bear with me on that one. And yeah, as always, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this video and what you think about Alicia Blanche as a character. Do let me know if you managed to acquire her. As always, thanks for tuning in. Take care of yourselves. Until next time.